And good morning, Amy and Aubrey. Looks like it's funny. I'm like, I need to get ready. I'm going to start my video right now. I was like, I guess nobody wants to get ready this morning. So why? Good morning, Kim. But I'm going to go and get ready because we have to leave and we're going to spoil my dad today for his birthday. So I'm going to be multitasking. All right, I'm going to go hop on the other device.
Sounds good.
What?
I said, Heather, you're not my friend.
What? Why? I'm not your friend.
Because it's Alan.
Oh, don't you love him? He's so
yes, I do.
He's so cute.
Yes, he's cute. He's great.
We have matching kitties now. It's so exciting.
So great. I love it.
So great. So great.
Honestly,
all right. Good morning, everybody. What?
Sorry. Well, honestly, if we didn't have to do cat litter and hair, that'd be great. So fix that problem and we can get more cats.
Or just potty trainers like I have. They
right.
go outside to go potty.
Y'all have a good training.
Okay, bye. All right. Hey, everybody. Okay, so who is on? Let's see here. Nicole, we got Aubrey. Amy is, what did Tori say? Nobody's wanting to get ready. Okay, gotcha. I barely got ready. I was like, oh, I should probably do something. I am wearing my new little fun scrunchie, which I haven't worn a scrunchie since I was like 12. So that's super fun.
I love that scrunchie though. I wore it the other day and it was just like, it's like the perfect combination to like my colors and everything. It was perfect. I loved it.
Yeah. It's so soft and it makes you feel 10 years younger because it's just like a little mom bun on the top of my head. It's so fun. Anyways, okay, so good morning, everybody. I don't really know what Tori said before I hopped on, but I'm so excited about this training specifically because it's the most important thing, right? To grow your business, recruiting, and then also sales, and they both go together. And so we're going to kind of share some things that have helped us along the way, and by all means, I see so many of you that are absolutely killing it. So we would love, after we share, for you guys to just kind of touch on what you're doing, because I definitely see so many of you absolutely crushing it. So the beautiful thing about these Zooms is that we can all come together, collaborate, share things that are working, because it's not one straight line to a destination. Not that there's really ever a destination, but you know what I mean? There's not one straight line. There's a lot of different ways to get to the final goal that we all kind of, that you have in mind, or goals. And I say that meaning like there's really no end goal, right? Like every time you reach a goal, you set a new one and you continue to move. But we all have different personalities. That's the thing, is that just because maybe your leader might be super outgoing and crushing social media, and then maybe you're not, you're more of an introvert. That doesn't mean that either one could have less or more success, because everybody has their own ways and their own personalities and their own circle of influence to do this business. And then it's also about leaning on those, like so many of you are so talented and we lean on y'all all the time, right? Because a team isn't made up of one person knowing it all. It's a team that's made up of a whole bunch of people bringing all of their talents and all of their contributions to it to make it stronger than ever. Okay. So that's why it's not just like the Tori and Heather show. We definitely we want to hear from y'all as well. We are just going to share some things because we've learned from experience, right? So just things along the way, and we definitely want to share those with you to just see, whatever. We're going to share those with you. So Tori, did you have anything to say first and foremost as we kick it off?
No, I think, the topic that we're going to start with is sales, because that will lead into a recruiting topic. And I love that you highlighted, we want to hear from you guys too, specifically because this isn't just what we can bring to the table, but, you've already highlighted how many of these guys are having amazing success. And I would like to hear what y'all are doing, because there isn't just one way to do this. Hold on. I have okay, sorry. I should have put a do not disturb on my phone, but I didn't. And so let's dive into sales. And, you know, as we go through this topic, I definitely want to hear from you guys as well. But I think one of the things that I thought about, you know, as I was thinking about what to share, is that we have to go into every conversation without an expectation, personally, because I think that's when we feel defeated or disappointed if it doesn't, if we don't get the results that we are hoping to. And I think when we do that, we have to, it takes the pressure off of, I mean, I know that all of us want to have a successful business. I know that we have a purpose as to why we're doing this business, but we have to eliminate the expectation of, you know, every conversation is going to result in a purchase. And Heather and I talk about this all the time. And that's why we really wanted to share this with you, because it never ceases to amaze me that, you know, sometimes the sale happens instantly, right? But more times than not, it takes several touches or several conversations with the same person. And then it ends up being, turning into a transaction. Do I need to mute people? I know that there's some background. If you're not on mute, guys, can you go ahead and mute yourself? Let's see, I'm gonna mute the other one. Mute. Okay, hold on. So let's talk about maybe the introduction of a conversation. And, you know, I know a lot of us utilize social media, which I think is the quickest way to start a conversation. But I also think the fastest way to eliminate conversation is if we're utilizing social media in the wrong way. And I that Heather agrees with that statement, because we can't all of a sudden, because we decide to start a business, go into only sales mode. You know, we become a billboard for our product. And I think that's the quickest way to turn off your social media, is that all of a sudden we flip the switch and we're just a walking billboard. You know, your social media has to remain transparent and real and authentic in you. It can't just all of a sudden turn into trying to make a sale. And at the end of the day, that's what nobody wants. Nobody wants to be sold something, right? And so as we are, whenever I utilize social media, I just try to keep a very even balance of sharing my life, sharing, you know, positivity, just remaining authentic to myself. And then, you know, also utilizing not attraction marketing. Okay, it is attraction marketing, not like buy my Tori Bell lashes, right? It's like you post a picture and you're excited about what you have been introduced to, and you want to create conversation. You want to have people ask about, you know, what it is that you're selling, right? You don't just want to put it out there because they can simply take that product and go Google it, go on Amazon, go do something else, and you're missing out on that conversation with the person asking what it is. So we want to make sure that we're utilizing attraction marketing. And I also think we can't just depend on, you know, I call it fishing. You know, we make a post and sometimes we can feel defeated if instantly we don't get a sale off of the post. How many of you guys have ever felt that way? It's like, oh, this isn't going to work because nothing's happening when I'm posting. You know, you have to be able to take conversations from your post, even when from your post, when people are liking it, click to see who likes your post and go in. And if they're not Tori Bell affiliates, obviously, because we boost so much, make sure that you could go in and say, thank you so much for, showing love on my post, and then create conversation that way. But it has to be authentic. One of the things that I saw today, or actually yesterday when Jason was showing me, is that people, and I get frustrated too, is I'm not really into cold marketing. If you guys are having success with this, then definitely let me know. But Heather and I, neither one of us love cold marketing where we just show up in somebody's inbox unexpected and, try to make a sale without ever having a conversation. And people don't buy it. People actually get pretty irritated. And I get the same thing. Like I'll have somebody that I haven't talked to in forever, and then they're just messaging me about a product. And I'm like, dude, this is why direct sales gets a bad rap, because nobody loves that. And if you, please correct me if you're doing that and you're having success, because maybe there's a different tactic that you're doing, but I don't like it when it's done to me, and nor do I ever do it, or very rarely do I do it. So, but I saw a post on social media where they were like, they were bashing people who were utilizing that type of method. They hadn't talked to them in months or maybe even years. And then they're trying to be solicited or recruited or sold something. And, it backfires. They actually ended up blasting the post of, people doing that to them. And it just doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel authentic. It feels very selfish, actually. It feels like it is self-motivated for the other person. It doesn't translate into what can we do for you type mentality. But, and so I don't recommend doing that. But when I talk about, when you're selling on social media, don't get frustrated if it doesn't end up in a transaction immediately. There's been times where, and I know all of you have probably been through this, is that I'll talk to somebody, or somebody even asks me about the product, about lashes, right? And I'm like, fantastic, we're about to, get a sale. And hey, even almost 10 years into this business, every single sale that I get freaking excited. Okay. I get super happy. But I have to maintain composure, but I'm like, yes, I get my sale today. And then it's crickets. They disappear. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, where did they go? And I know that you guys understand this emotion, because you're like, wait a minute, you asked me about my product, and then now you're not there. They haven't gone to the site. They haven't sold. They've ghosted me now. They've stopped communicating with me. And I have to remember that, hey, it's not about me. It's about them and their timing. And when they want, to finish a transaction. But it just happened literally probably 4 days ago, but right before my trip. And the girl had asked me, and we had probably had a conversation for about, I don't know, maybe 4 weeks. She was just asking me and this, and here's my method is I don't want to be very aggressive when, I just want to I never want them to feel pressure. Okay. So we're having conversation back and forth, and I'm sitting there like, okay, are we going to get this deal done or not? And it didn't get done. And here's what I do is I never make them feel like, I don't message, are we going to get this deal done or not? Don't do that, because it's 99% not going to happen then. But how I will just continue to follow up, make sure that you are really excellent with your follow-up game, you guys, because I think that's where I have a high return, is that I never make them feel pressured. So my follow-up is just very gentle. It's like, hey, girlfriend, are you ready to grab your goodies? You know, it's just light and friendly. And I don't want them to feel icky. But what happened in this last case is, April, the follow-up is everything, because again, the transactions usually don't happen instantly. So I have to initiate that follow-up. But she ends up, let's see, this was in March, the last time that we had the conversation. And here we are in June, where we are just now making the purchase. She had ghosted me. She had stopped responding. I didn't make her feel, icky because she didn't follow through with what she said she was going to do. And you guys, I'm bringing this to the table because I think so many times we feel like we've done something wrong. Like, wait, what happened? Did I say something wrong? Because she was like, I'll get it done. I'll get it ordered. I'm going to do it today. And then, so I'll follow up, right? Hey, girlfriend, are you ready to grab your goodies? And then ghosted. And I'm like, oh, okay. In my head, I'm thinking that, but I don't ever want them to feel like I'm frustrated with them. That's so important. But she messages me out of the blue and she's like, hey, I'm so ready to grab my lashes. I'm so sorry. So she's now coming back to me with a guilty conscience of never following through with what she said she was going to do, which makes it so great because I knew that I hadn't done anything wrong, but I know oftentimes we get frustrated because it didn't happen. And we feel like we've done something wrong. And she comes and she goes, something happened. It was unexpected. I had some, something else that I had to tend to financially. But I'm so excited. What were the styles that you recommended? And boom, instantly within 5 minutes, she purchased 2 sets of lashes and was, she has already actually received them and is so excited. But it never fails because I get communicated with so many times with people who have continued to watch, who asked months ago, and then will eventually follow through with the transaction. And my question is, are you going to be here for that transaction when it's ready for them to decide that they're ready to purchase? Because if I got frustrated back 3 months ago and I'm like, oh, this isn't going to work. I can't sell anything, and then I quit. Right. And then she comes, here she is 3 months later, ready to make the transaction. What if I had already thrown in the towel? I mean, so you understand what I'm saying is you've just got to stick and stay and not get frustrated when the transaction doesn't happen on your time. It's always about the other person's timing when they're ready to make that purchase. So Heather, I mean, what do you say? I know that you echo that because we laugh and giggle, you guys, all the time when it happens. A year ago, we talked to somebody and they're just now purchasing. So Heather, what do you say to that?
Yeah, that happens all the time. And I actually go into every single conversation with not like, with just literally asking them questions, because sometimes, right, when somebody's so excited, they ask you for information and then I call it, you just fire hose them, right? Because you're so excited and like, and then they're like, all I wanted was, or that's when, the ghost happens or whatever. And so from that experience, because I've definitely fire hosed before, I realized asking questions, letting them lead the conversation and then kind of answering and engaging. Because then also remember, it's all about them. So as you're asking questions, you can kind of hear things that they might say that could intro, oh, this could be a solution for them, right? And going into it, just like what you said, with no expectations of where that's going, because again, it's all about them and their timing and if this is right for them and stuff like that. So that's where really like the DMO that we went over comes into play, and really knowing, okay, so I'm planting the seed and then I'm following up. And by the way, so Tori was mentioning follow-up. Following up doesn't necessarily mean like following up. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Like, it's not about the lashes. Like, the follow-up could actually be if they're posting on a story. This is where you really want to make a list of people that you have conversations with, because again, it's layers of conviction over time, layers of exposure. They're trying to figure out if they trust you, if they like you, if they want to do business with you, and they're watching you. Okay. And so that first layer might be a conversation. They want more information. Guess what? Then as you start to drip on your page, now they're watching you to see what it's all about. And then having those, let's say they post something in their stories, right? Something in their stories or a poll or something like that. Then you, Marian.
Yes, it is Marian. Yeah.
Posted in multiple different places. So what was I saying? Oh, so then let's say they say something about their kids or something random, right? Nothing to do with lashes. That you following up could be you messaging them about that, right? You responding to a poll, you replying under. So those are touches, right? Of like, oh yeah, I forgot about her or something. So it doesn't necessarily mean like 7 follow-ups about the lashes necessarily, but it's just like 7 touches to stay at their top of mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to echo that completely, because I'm not just following up. Are you ready to purchase lashes? I followed up when she said she was ready, tomorrow night. And so then that was my follow-up. But once that transaction didn't take place, my follow-up was not, hey, when are you going to buy your lashes? It just happens to be this girl is in a cat group. Okay. I'm now a crazy cat lady. My follow-up with her is communication of what we are, what our commonality is, which in this case is cats. So I'm talking to her about, show me how your kitten is growing, because we talk about kittens. That means it is not just 100%. I didn't blow or brush her off because she didn't purchase lashes from me. And that also makes them feel valued and honored. Just like what Heather's saying is, if you're responding to them about their kids or interacting with them, they just feel like it wasn't just, you weren't just trying to sell them something. And I love that you highlighted that, because that's, that is exactly what I do. But my follow-up isn't just, when are you going to purchase? Because then I actually stopped talking about it. Like, I don't know if you do that same thing, Heather, is I take lashes off the table and just, continue developing trust and a relationship, because in this case, it's somebody that I really don't know. And then again, whenever they're ready, they bring the topic back to me. I don't keep presenting it to them. And I think that is so important that we realize. And I also think that there's oftentimes, and you guys, can agree with this or say, yeah, I've made that mistake, is that your follow-up is just about lashes and then they don't purchase, and then y'all haven't communicated again. You probably feel rejected, right? Because the sale didn't happen. So you might feel rejected. And then you're like, okay, I'm just going to disappear, because obviously they don't want anything from me. And you remove yourself, which is the biggest mistake that you could do. Just remove the conversation of only lashes and still engage in, authentic communication with whatever other interest or, I love continuing to, and here's what the follow-up isn't just through your inbox. Just like Heather said, the follow-up can be continue to comment on their post. So you need to be really diligent in those people that have asked, that have, and maybe nothing has happened yet, but have you stopped being a friend to them? Have you stopped engaging with them? If you continue to engage on their social media, first of all, the algorithms are going to help you, because Facebook's like, oh, these two people really do know each other and communicate with each other. So you're going to continue seeing their feed on your page. And guess what? They're going to continue seeing your feed on their page. And it can't just be about lashes. So, let real life continue to happen on your social media. And then whenever there happens to be a lash post or a foundation post or whatever, that's going to continue to populate on their end. And then it just plants that another seed, another exposure for a transaction to happen eventually.
Yes. And so kind of like the outline of like when to kind of take you through a timeline, because sometimes let's say you post something and it is their timing. Like that might have been the 7th exposure. Maybe they've been seeing other people post and they're ready to go. So that's why some things happen right away. Let's say somebody's been watching you and you don't even know it. And all of a sudden something happens in their life and they're like, okay, I'm ready to do this. Right. Others, like you have to just kind of, it's like that relationship, right? You're trying to form that. And so here's kind of an example. So I have somebody that is, my husband actually talked to whatever, anyways, about the business, because guess what? She lost her job. She needs to earn income. And so immediately my husband was like, she should totally talk to my wife. My wife could absolutely help her make some money. Right. And that's what he said, because he heard my wife needs to make some money. Well, then, you know, they connected us. I added her to the group. She's just kind of been watching. Right. And then last night I finally met her for the first time at the baseball game, because it's my son's coach's wife. Right. And I had never met her. This is, again, all through our husbands communicating. And so we didn't have a relationship. So she was kind of like, she doesn't know me yet. Right. And so, but as soon as I saw her, I'm like, oh my gosh, she would be perfect. Like she has nails and she's like totally like, I feel like, oh, she would love lashes and cosmetics. And so now we're just developing that relationship. But here's an acronym that helps me, because sometimes like I say I'm an introvert, but I love talking one-on-one to people. So I don't like being in crowds of people or being center of attention by any means, but I love having conversation. And at the beginning of even doing all of this, like just opening up conversations was really hard for me. So I came up with, or I didn't come up with, I heard form. You form with them, right? So it's family, occupation, recreation, and then sharing a message. So immediately my whole goal in any conversation with anybody that I have face to face, it could be online too, is that acronym, right? So I'm going to ask them about their family. I'm going to ask them about what they do for fun. I'm totally going to ask them what they do for their occupation, for work. And then if they say that, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, that sounds so exciting. Is that your dream job? Is that what you want to do? Like I really get in there, and I can do it with anybody now. It's almost a challenge. So really at the end of the day, all we're doing is making friends, right? We're making friends. And then like even if you look at my social media, now, some of you post a lot and it totally works, right? So we're again, not saying my way is the high, like whatever, everybody does it differently. I tend to drip more in my stories about lashes, about, you know, the things that I do, more in my stories, less on my page, but I will share that. Now, the other thing is when it comes to sales, so you're sharing the lashes, right? You absolutely want to, what's the form? It's form, F-O-R-M. You want to form them. So family, occupation, recreation, and then share a message. So if they're like, no, I actually hate my job, or I just got laid off, or whatever they say, that might be like, okay, that's time for me to share the message. It's a very simple message, like, well, okay, so you mentioned that, and I just can't help but think, like, I don't know if it would be for you or not, but I absolutely love what I do. I found it about 1.5 years ago, and this is what it's done for my family. And it totally could be, I think you would absolutely be amazing at it, right? Because you could say whatever you want to say about them, but giving compliments and kind of having that conversation, but you got to share the message. Because when direct sales was first shared with me, I was actually, they said, on their chicken list. Okay. I was on their chicken list. They didn't talk to me for about 2 months. I think I shared this before. And then all of a sudden she said, yeah, this is amazing. This product's amazing. And if you love it, you could totally make some money with it. Like it was just so simple like that. And I was like, there's a business opportunity attached to this product, because I love it. And I would totally share this with people. And so what she didn't know is where we were in our life at that time, right? My husband's job, like all the things were happening in our life. and we needed a solution. And so from the outside, no one knew that, because it's not like you walk around sharing what's going on in your life, right? And so by her saying, if you love this product, you could actually, you know, make some money with it. I was like, all right, like let's chat a little bit about that, right? So that's kind of just being bold and not prejudging anybody, because from the outside, like you would have thought we had everything together, everything was like hunky-dory, you know, all this stuff, but yet we desperately needed a solution. And because that solution was shared, right, it completely changed not only our lives, our children's lives, all of our team members' lives, you know what I mean? Like it changed so many lives because of that those 2 seconds of courage of sharing, and you can make money with this, right? And then if somebody's not interested, it's a seed planted, right? So, okay, so that's that. The other thing, I wanted to read this real quick. So, okay, so the thing about social media, it is like it's the way of the world, right? Like we still have obviously conversations and relationships, but things are evolving so fast on social media. Like I'm in the MySpace days, like who remembers MySpace, right? Like MySpace and then going on. And so it's changing so fast. And so I really actually took a few hours to study Instagram the last couple of days, study Instagram, study TikTok, which is so funny. My kids are like, are you on TikTok right now? I'm like, yes, I'm studying. And so studying TikTok, I was studying all the things, because you have to always be learning and growing if you want to move with this market. And the thing is, it's not necessarily like making TikToks or doing whatever about lashes. Now I did my first TikTok. I was really like my first real one. But you want to start understanding how to do that. And we'll do a training once you know, I get there, I'm learning. So, but here's something just kind of simple. So it says habit is repeated routine. Okay, hold on. Someone said success in MLM. Julie Kelly posted this. I'm writing this piece hoping it will help some networkers to step up their game. Okay. The world is changing and so is marketing. Here are some simple tips I have learned from market influencers. Habit is a repeated routine, and in this business, you need to create habits that increase your chances, and network marketing is all about selling and prospecting and selling. So reach out to people and sell every day. So make it a habit. Make it a habit, not in the fashion of scaring or chasing anyone away, but do it in a fun, helpful, effective, educative manner. So you're always like adding value, right? In all different areas, not necessarily just your product. You are your market. Everyone is watching you. They expect you to quit the business in 90 days or less. If you stick with it and build it big, some of the people who told you no today will eventually join your team. I personally like things simple. Life is fun when it is simple. So simple that even an 8-year-old could do it. The beauty of this industry is the simplicity. Only fools complicate it, and most people do, but it takes a genius to keep it simple. So in other words, keep it super simple, right? Like, hey, you said this. I have something that you can totally make money. Do you want me to help you? Let me add you to our group. You can kind of see what we do, right? So keeping it super, super simple and not overcomplicating it. Okay, so anyways, kicking it back to you on that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's funny because I was like, well, let's talk about sales first and then we'll talk about recruiting. But you guys, if I'm being honest, every single sales conversation is a recruiting conversation for me. I think that is one of the areas where people say that they struggle, and I never struggle. And it might be because you're only focusing on a sale versus, just like Heather said, is, hey, by the way, when you fall in love with this product, you're going to have friends ask you about it, and there's an opportunity attached. So if you're open to learning more about that, I would love to share. And it always just plants the seed. So whether they were looking for an opportunity or not, now they have been told that there's an opportunity attached to this product. And I think when, so many people say, I can't ever recruit. it's probably because you never share the opportunity attached to the conversation of the sale of the product, because it's never just about a sale of the product for me. I'm going to give you an example of actually, so I say I don't ever cold market. That's pretty true on social media, but I will solicit a stranger in a heartbeat, right? So when we were traveling and I was at the hotel, when Heather's talking about forming, this has been ingrained into us for as long as we've been a part of direct sales, as you guys have to be okay with creating conversation, getting to know the other person, finding out something to where then you can deliver a message. And this happened to be just a very simple, quick conversation with the girl behind the front desk. And this was the second time that I had seen her. She was there the first night, and we were just very friendly with each other. And then, and friendly meaning be nice to people. When you're nice to people and smile and, you know, have just a genuine connection, that makes an impact, you guys, because a lot of times people are just really crappy. Don't be a crappy person. That's how you're going to recruit. So, and the next day, you know, that second evening, again, we were talking and, you know, just having small conversation. And I was like, I said, do you always work the evening shift? And she goes, yes, well, actually, I work evenings at my second job. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is evening, you know, and it's like 9 o'clock. Oh, sorry, I had another call. It's like, you know, 9 p.m. And I'm thinking to myself, how were you going to a second job after you get off of here at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, right? And so she shared with me her second job. And instantly I was like, and you're about to get prospected right the second. Because anybody who has a second job is looking for more income, all right? That is a telltale sign that somebody is willing to work. They have a great work ethic. If you're, you know, nowadays, people don't even want to work one job. But when you find somebody who already has a second job, you're like, oh, I'm going to deliver a message that can help you. See, because now I'm entering the conversation of I have a solution, because you really don't need to work that hard, especially if you're a second shift overnight. I mean, that's insane to me, but a lot of people have to do it. And so I just said, hey, can I get your number? Like, I was so bold. This is where Heather and I kind of, you know, I had already heard as much as I needed to hear. And I'm like, I pulled out my phone. I said, hey, can I get your number? And she was, yeah. And so I put her number in my phone already, right? Before I even told her why, you guys. And then I said, listen, I want to connect with you because I want to share with you what I do for a living. And I think that it would really help you. And it could be a way that you don't have to work 2 jobs anymore. See, that was what I presented. And she goes, really? What is it? And of course, I had Tatum with me, and Tatum's like, lashes, magnetic lashes. And I just giggled because she is my little, I need to take her everywhere because she's like a little entrepreneur. 10 years, she's going to be a millionaire at 18, I swear. So anyways, and she was like, oh my gosh. And Tatum's like, look, she's wearing them right now. And she's like, I can tell, obviously, because I'm like this. And she was like, yeah, I would love to learn more. And it was as simple as that. We were friendly with each other, right? She had a great personality. And here, whenever Heather said compliment them, I complimented her because I said, I think you would be amazing at this. You are so fun. You have a great personality. And this product people love. And, so instantly I gave her the confidence. That's what I do all the time. My Uber driver, who is now enrolled, who is now but it took her, you guys, this was from Florida's conference. So 2 months, it took her 2 months to enroll, but I didn't just write her off. That's why follow-up is so important, because just because she didn't enroll on the day that she said she was going to, she didn't enroll, but I never made her feel like she wasn't worth my time anymore when she didn't follow through with that. Okay. So I just continued to have that open conversation and communication. And then all of a sudden one day I'm getting the message saying, hey, I just signed up. I'm like, sweet, you know, and, but it was, you guys get really good at identifying people's personalities, because instantly, if I feel like this is a friendly person and they are good at conversation, because I'm always looking to create conversation and they're engaging in that, I will always share, hey, you would be excellent at what I do. And I'm complimenting them ahead of time. And then guess what? What do they have to do? Ask me a question, right? They have to engage in that question. Well, what do you do? Well, I'm part of a cosmetic company and we created magnetic lashes and they're amazing. And it's just an easy way to slide that opportunity into their lap, because I've already complimented them. I've already said, you would be great at what I do. What do you do? You know? And so that's what I wanted to share there, because I mean, it's like, it comes second nature to me. And I know that probably a lot of you guys don't think like that. And I'm always thinking, who can I talk to today? Like, I'm looking for opportunity, but I'm not aggressive in the icky way, right? I'm not aggressive in the icky way. I am just looking, basically how that translates is, how can I make a friend today? How can I make a friend today? And then I know that I can present something if I feel like the timing is right. And I think what it is so many people, we haven't been conditioned to do this, you guys. We are like, in today's world, I don't think people are looking to go out and make friends. People have kind of withdrawn. People stop communicating. They're very and not maybe even in a bad way, but we're just thinking to ourselves about not the other person. Okay. And I don't take this in a wrong way. It's just, you know, most of the time we're selfish and taking care of our own needs and our own agenda, right? Well, I have to be conscious about create conversation, smile. Hey, you want to recruit? Smile at people, make eye contact with people, talk to people, because so many people are so disconnected. You'll catch them off guard. I mean, they actually perk up when you actually start asking them questions about themselves. I know one thing is people love to talk about themselves, right? And so when you're talking to them and be genuine in the conversation. I actually wasn't looking, I'm never turning away opportunity, but I wasn't looking to create opportunity. It just, you know, it's like second nature to me. All of a sudden a conversation starts. And as soon as I listen twice as much as you talk. As soon as I heard Janisa tell me that she had 2 jobs, I knew 100% immediately I was going to be sharing this opportunity with her. And so you've got to understand how to identify those types of conversations and when's the right time to present that message. And that is what Heather's talking about with form is, you know, ask people questions, get to know them, find out how this could be a solution. And don't be afraid. You know, I think at the end of the day, it just boils down to you have to be brave in presenting a product and presenting an opportunity. And you can't, although I know that social media is the way of the world. Okay. It is the way of the world. But I'll tell you, I have a much higher success rate in person. When I have authentic conversations and genuine conversations in person, my success rate is tenfold versus fishing on Facebook. And that's just me personally. So if you guys feel free to, start adding to this conversation other than just Heather and I, you know, talking, because if y'all have questions, I don't just want to talk at you. I want to talk with you. So unmute yourself and ask away or share what's working for you. Because I know that you guys have incredible, you know, opportunity to share with them and not just what works for us, but what's working for you too. Because all of us, I would love to learn.
So Casey Peterson, I actually reached out to her because she kills it all the time with sales. She's won like all of the things. And I'm like, well, and she's at a wedding, I believe right now, or she's at something. So she was unable to share as far as this goes. And so I asked her, I said, what are you doing? What do you do? Because she is so consistent. It's not like she hit high volume one month and then like every single month she has crazy volume. She's an incredible leader, and she does a lot of it just communicating on Facebook actually, but she has a lot of relationships outside of Facebook, but then she gets connected on Facebook. Does that make sense? Like she's always making friends outward, and that's totally what I do too. I make friends outward, and then we connect on Facebook, and then they see what I do, right?
Yes.
Like I have a friend, and we've never talked about what I do. I know everything about her, but because she watches my Facebook, now she's starting to be like, oh, I didn't even know you did that, because I don't talk about what I do. I listen to what she does, and we're forming a relationship. But Casey said every single month, what works for her is she has a goal to hit the 40% commission mark each and every single month. That sounds crazy, right? Over $3,000, and she does it almost every single month. She hits that goal. And so she has a goal of every single day to sell 2 bundles at least. And so how does she do that? She basically, follow-up is key for me, and daily interaction on Facebook. So commenting on others people's stuff, referrals, etc. So she is social on social media, right? So it's not just about posting, but it is about truly commenting, messaging, doing all of that. Set a goal for yourself, whether it's 5 or 10 connections with new people, or people you haven't necessarily engaged with. She does that on a daily basis, and therefore people trust her, they like her, right? And then she's just got this really good algorithm going, and momentum going, where literally it's repeat customers. And she ships out a lot though. She will actually buy inventory, and each month, so she has a goal, right, that she has this inventory, but she will not buy it unless she has sold all of her inventory that month. So it's kind of like she sees it staring her in the face, and therefore her goal every single month is like, okay, I'm going to sell all of this. So she picks like a niche each month. So like she did, the foundation launch, or no, she did the lip stain, the enology. So she asked something about wine, like what's your favorite wine? Then she kind of had a series of 4 where she shared about her putting it on and stuff like that. And then she ended up $1,000 of that was from that lip stain, because she was posting about it. She picked it. She decided, okay, I'm going to post a series about it, really focus on it. And now she's going to focus. She's like, okay, and then I'm going to focus on liquid foundation next, as soon as the 120 and the 110 come back. So that's what she was saying, is like, as soon as that comes back, she's hitting it hard with that. And so she actually took some pictures of her kind of focus for that, but then she has it in stock, and then she ships it out, right? So then, and then she posts a picture of that. So that's kind of how she does sales, and how she has like crazy volume, and now she just has a bunch of repeat customers. And yeah, so that's kind of what she said. So let's open it up. Anybody want to share what they're doing? I know Nicole, your launch was incredible. So she really just, talk about following the system, right? It was like post 1, post 2, post 3. She was weaving in family in between talking, and she absolutely killed it. She ranked up 3 times last month. So it was amazing. And so, but that was really from the launch. That's why it's so important to launch correctly, and using those, I don't need to tell all of you all of that, but for those of you who are watching on replay or whatever, that's why it's so important to get launched, or help others get launched effectively, to get those quick wins. Go ahead.
I was going to say this as far as follow-up too. Don't forget to follow up with your customers. And here's what I was thinking. So I have repeat customers a lot. And one thing that you need to do is, number one, follow up with them when there's a new lash style that they love, right? Because people are either big lash lovers or they want a more subtle look, and that's kind of their repeat purchases are similar. So if we get a launch, which we do, every single month, I'm going back in to have a conversation to share with them, hey, I think you would love this style. And almost every single time they're like, yes, grab it for me. Okay, that's one conversation. A second conversation is, hey, I'm about to place an order. Are you ready to grab another ladies' night? Okay, and so I'm not waiting for them to come to me, because let's face it, but I'm tracking when's the last time they purchased, and so if it's been, 2 months, then I'm like, probably ready for a new set of lashes. So I'm not waiting, because they do reach out to me, but I'm reaching out to them. Hey, I'm about to place an order. You want me to grab you another set of ladies' night? And more times, 9 times out of 10, it's a yes, or it's a not yet, but let me know when you order again. Okay, so it's a very easy conversation. It's not, and I don't feel rejected. I don't feel, bad. I'm just providing white glove service. I'm providing that opportunity to just, because sometimes we get so busy. I'm like, oh, I forgot, and now I need it, and I forgot to order it, and now I'm not going to get it in time. So I am tracking almost that for them, just in case it had slipped their mind. I'm going to put it back in front of them. So yeah, does anybody have questions or comments? Yeah, Nicole.
So you just said the white glove service thing, and I will say that has been golden outside of, the segue that you guys have with like post 1, post 2, post 3, because initially, like I know for me, like in the beginning of direct sales, the first time, sorry if you guys are hearing movies, I'm in like I said, I'm not in my own home. But I got lost a little bit. Like, what do I say? What do I do? How do I do this? And like the structure that you guys had straight out of the gate is really what helps me solidify that pathway of hitting senior affiliates so quickly. And I mean, it blew my mind. I told my husband, like when I got that first paycheck, I was like, holy crap, babe, like I've been in 2 weeks. And he's like, well, keep going, like, let's go. But the thing that really like I raised my hand for is when you mentioned the white question or something, or is like, oh, well, I've had issues in the past. Like I'll reach out to them, and I literally will spend like a good maybe 30 minutes just talking with them and sharing my pictures or whatever. But I handle everything, as Heather told me, like from start to finish. They don't even go to the website the very first time until I said, hey, I've created your customer portal. So now you can go anytime you need anything, but I'm still here to help you. And the people that ask me for my link are the ones that are, like you're saying, they kind of ghost me. But everybody that I've done start to finish, like, are like those ones that are coming back or behind the scenes, even if they haven't made their follow-up purchase yet, are still asking me questions or asking me for tutorials or something. So that I'm feeling right now is like, that's the key. Like that's the difference, is caring for them. But also, as you mentioned too, is in that follow-up. Because I know you mentioned like following up even if they haven't purchased, but following up when they have and letting them like feel like, hey, it wasn't just a purchase for them, but like, I'm like, hey, did you get your lashes? And Heather helped me put together a goodie bag. And now all my girls are getting their goodie bags and like, oh my God, like this was so awesome. Thank you so much. Now I got something to carry my lashes. And, so like, again, building that. But the other one thing that I wanted to share too, when you were talking about that kind of came to my mind, is also like, know when to let go. Like, don't follow the same people over and over. Like if they showed interest maybe once or twice and then kind of came off, don't keep following them and like hunting them down, because that gives like that sense of desperation, like they're the only ones you've got, because I know I've done that in the past, and I've also had people it does kind of feel a little dirty after a while. Just as you were saying, with like the people that come out of the woodworks and friend request you, and the next thing you know, you're getting inbox. Like I have that happen so much on LinkedIn. Like I'm just like, all right, delete friend, but I'm just so happy with everything with the company, the team, because you guys really have it set up to where it is extremely successful. as long as you're just, you know, following the steps, and it's fun. Like, I don't feel like I'm working at all. I just feel like it's fun.
Yeah, I agree. I completely think that that's what has made this different, is that it does feel fun. And you guys, it's fun when you don't have expectation. You know, you've got to just free yourself of that, because then, I mean, people can sniff out desperation, and it's just not attractive. So when you're carefree and you're fun, and it's not just about a sale with other people, but they genuinely feel your heart. I think that that's where so many of you guys I know have such great success, is because you're genuine, your character comes through before the commission. Okay. And that's why you guys are killing it. Some of you guys are killing it is because your character comes through over anything else. And I think that is key to, I think, all of our success. You know, all of us are going to have our different methods and how we pursue a transaction, you know, whether you're brave or bolder than what somebody else might be. But at the end of the day, we have the same results, because it happens. People do business with people they like and trust, right? And so are you creating that opportunity for people to like and trust you? I was also, I just had something and it just went in and out of my head that I was going to say. Shoot. Follow up. It'll come to me again. I don't know. Let's open the lines for anybody else to share. And thank you for sharing, Nicole. Or have questions.
Hi, Tori and Heather. This is Marion.
Hi, Marion.
This has been such great information. One of the things that I wanted to, I guess, talk a little bit about is building relationship, how that's just so important for some of the repeat customers that I've had, is really, and I'm so glad that you said that, Tori, about, I have a customer group personally for VI, you know, just for people that I have customers with, but that group, a lot of times things get missed, but doing that white glove service of saying, hey, I think this lash will be perfect for you, and really just knowing the facts about the lashes and know what they like. So that's really, really good. But building relationship and knowing that you really, really care about your customers, and even the people that you want to be on your team, they really, really see that. And a lot of times I have had a lot of people say, or we hear time and time again, that people do not join companies or businesses just because of what the product is, but they join you.
Yeah.
And so that has been so good. So I just wanted just to add that, just building relationship, really caring about your customers as well as people, your future team members, because a no is it's just a not right now, you know, because of the timing and because of people's lives. And people I'm about to come up on my year anniversary, and some people are still inboxing me from a year ago.
Yep, exactly.
And saying, keep up the great work. And you think that people are not watching, but they are. You know, I see you killing it. I see you doing a great job.
Yes.
And it's because I'm still commenting on the stories, on the happy birthdays, on their kids' graduations. This is the time, you know, with all of the events going on, you know, don't look at it as, okay, you know, things are slowing down or whatever, but it's really a great time for networking and to plant seeds for what is about to come.
Yes, that is so important, Mary. And I'm so glad that you said that, because, you know, we are approaching summertime where people are disconnected, they're traveling, you know, they're putting money towards vacation or activities that they need to, you know, that they're prioritizing, which is totally fine. But we need to understand, okay, well, we can't go on vacation and just not,
right.
you know, not continue to share or continue to comment on those other, you know, continue that engagement, because when the time comes, guess who they're going to be coming back to is you. And so continue to fill your pipeline, or your pipeline will run dry. Is so important for us to remember and remind ourselves, because if we want a successful fall, that work starts right now. One thing, that's what I was going to say earlier, when I talked about white glove service and not just sending your link, although we have an amazing new website, right? I freaking love our new website. If you will say, hey, send me your favorite selfie, and then you upload that picture and put some different lash choices for them to see it, you guys, that can be an absolute game changer for your business. She actually, the customer, she did it, and it was because I was in such a hurry. She actually did go to my link, because she's like, what did you tell me to get again? And she actually did follow through. But she sent me the picture of her having done the virtual try on. And she was like, man, I'm so sad that I waited to order. I would have loved to have this for my school photo, because she's a teacher. And it was so funny, because she loved how she looked in one of the styles that she was purchasing. And of course I complimented her, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so gorgeous, right? But that virtual try on, you guys, is something that could absolutely change the face of your business with sales. Is telling your friends, hey, send me your favorite selfie. And then you go and show them what a particular lash style would look like on them. And it just blows them away. So don't forget to do that.
Perfect. I love the virtual try on. That's such a, I actually posted, I was like, does anybody want to, it was about virtual try on. Send me a selfie and I'll put you in a drawing type thing. And I had a bunch of people that have never reached out about lashes. And one girl, she actually has naturally beautiful lashes anyways. And I put these on her and she was like, oh my goodness. Like, I thought I had great lashes, and those are so fun, you know? So I went through the whole step though. Here are the picture of the lashes. Which are your favorites? And then I went ahead and I put like all 3 styles and I sent it to her. And so now we're still in conversation, because she's never actually worn lashes. So virtual try-on is a great conversation starter. And I put that in my stories too. I think that's actually where she responded to it, was through my stories, a poll. So
I think a great way to increase your sales is to put some of those other products on their face, and not, you know, or 1 or 2, or don't just send 1 style of lashes. You know, if you send 3, say, oh my gosh, I think these 3 will look fantastic. Maybe they'll end up purchasing 2, because you're like, hey, you can add, why don't you grab both of these and present it as a savings opportunity. And then if you're utilizing any other cosmetic virtual try on, and say, I don't know if this has worked really well for me. If you're open to trying a new foundation, the one that we have just come out with has absolutely blown my mind. And that, I mean, people, I don't know, women freaking love foundation, and they're always looking for a better one. And I think what we have come out with is incredible. And it is at the price point of what it is, the $44 or $46, whatever it is. I'm not just selling this. I'm like, if you want a flawless finish, I would add the P3 primer. Okay. And then I love a really matte finish with our Elements powder. So I actually create bundles for them. And I'm like, you're going to love the way that your skin feels. So I'm creating an expectation for them, but I'm creating it because that's what I believe. And so I'm not just selling a 1 product, but I'm selling a bundle for them to get the best possible outcome for their face. And that has really helped sales as well.
Perfect. Alrighty. What is the price point on the 3 of those together? I forget off the top of my head.
Oh,
just 1 powder, 1 foundation, and primer. I
don't know the price point. I don't have it memorized, because I just go and create the cart.
I was thinking it's something under $100 or get this look for $100. Anyways, that just.
Oh, no, it's over $100.
Yeah.
And if it's not the primer, I do 2 different bundles, one with the primer, and then, or I do the liquid foundation with a powder and a contour.
Yeah.
And so that has worked really well too.
I'm going to price those out. I have an idea for that. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? It's 11:07. So we want to go ahead and land this plane and be respectful of your time, of keeping it to an hour. Anybody have any last thoughts? If not, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I do like want to respect everybody's time, but 2 things that have come up for me. One is like somebody who says lashes are too heavy, and it's not necessarily ours, but they're like, when they say that it's too heavy, I'm not sure how to reply just yet on that, because obviously new. Then also when you come up with a price objection. So I had a girlfriend who reached out and she was like, oh, cool. And then when I told her the price, she's like, oh, that's a little bit too much for me right now. Then going like yesterday, just saw that she actually went and had extensions done. And she said they were so horrible and they hurt her eyes and she had to have them removed because it was too heavy. And I'm like, well, dang girl, like I wish you would have just stuck with me. Because from what I understand, I've never had extensions, but I assume they're a hell of a lot more expensive than our lashes. So those 2 things is like the heaviness and then weight objection.
Well, I think if somebody says something about the, lashes being heavy, educate them on maybe illusion lashes. Thank you. I was drawing a blank on the product. Is girlfriend, you need to try our illusion lash. It literally it's weightless and almost invisible on your eyes, or like it feels invisible on your eyes. You can barely feel it. And so you know when your lashes, because I don't even think our thick lashes are heavy, but that's just perception. So, bring a different type of solution to them with the illusion lash, number 1. Number 2, go back to the girl who hated her extensions and said, girlfriend, listen, I know I want to break this down for you, because at 20 to 30 wears per lash, for these lashes, it comes down to XYZ, so a day, break that price down and say, so in essence, you're actually saving a lot of money, because if you don't even wear these every day, these could last months, and so just, again, creating that conversation, bringing that solution, breaking down that daily wear of how much it would cost, and say, just give them a shot. And really, this is where I do become a little bit bolder. I said, give me a shot, or give them a shot. Trust me, you're going to love them.
Well, I figure like it allows you to train your eyes too. Like even if you do get like a 9 to 5, like a smaller, thinner one, it allows you to train and like wear them for a few hours, and then you can always take them off. Like you're not 100% committed to having the extensions in. So awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, you guys?
As far as I was trying to add up, it's 124 for those 3. Okay. As far as and even if she said it's too expensive, did you say this? That opens up a door for the opportunity for saying,
yes,
I know you said that, but how would you like to wear them for free? Because I can actually help you earn some income if you love these. So anyways, that's a great.
And the reality is $9 to start a business is like,
Cindy.
You can't even, oh yeah, I did have one more story I was going to share. So very, very quickly. Let's see, this lady I met in December. I've known her, so now what, 8 months, okay, 7 months. And she's been added to my customer page. We became friends on Facebook and whatnot. And we went in and saw her last night. I haven't seen her in a while in person, but she often, she comments on my stuff. I comment on her stuff. So the engagement has always been there. She's never purchased yet, but she brought it to me last night. Again, she goes, girl, I sit and watch you all the time. And I love how you live your life. And she's like, I really need to talk to you about this business. So remember, I had presented it I gave her an opportunity. I followed up a few times, but then I've just taken it off the table. I don't want her to think that's the only reason I want to remain friends with her. And lo and behold, who brings it back to me? I didn't bring it to her again last night. She brought it to me and said, I need to do what you do. I watched you. I love it. She's been with another company. That's kind of been the hesitation of why she hasn't hopped on, because she's been with another company for 8 years, sorry. And then I was like, if you don't want to use social media, don't use social media. You're in front of people all the time. It's just an easy conversation about lashes. Like you're overthinking this way too much. And she goes, you're right. I'm just going to do it. And so it just, again, 7 months in the making, and here she's bringing it back to me. And I just want to encourage you with that, because you can't ever feel discouraged or rejected or think that it's you, because it's not, unless you're being an ugly human being. Okay. If you're being a mean human being, then it's you, and change. But if you're not, and you're friendly and you make them feel valued as a person, not a profit, okay, your business will continue to grow and flourish. And if you want it to grow faster, make more friends, have more conversations. That's where intentionality comes, is how many people are you going to be talking to? Are you talking to one person at a time? Or are you talking to 5 people at a time? That's where you can create momentum, is, you get to set the pace of your business. So, all right, that's all I got. I got to keep getting ready. My hair's still wet and I can't dry my hair talking.
All righty. All right, you guys, we'll definitely post the replay, Tori, once that processes or whatever, into the page. And yeah, thank you all for joining us today. It was such a great conversation. I love this conversation. I could talk probably for another hour. So yeah,
me too. All right, y'all have an awesome weekend.
Yes, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
All right, bye. Love y'all.
Bye, ladies.